So the first case we have is Richard, who's here today. And so he's 55 years old, and he was diagnosed, no? Sorry. 65, sorry, I must have typed it wrong. So he's had diabetes for about 10 years now, and he's had a few complications, including some kidney disease, which is why he was here in this office. And he saw a colleague of mine, Dr. Ting, and so he was referred into the intensive dietary management program, and we started him in June of 2013. And we started him with a fasting regimen as opposed to the amount of insulin that he had. So this is Richard and his wife. Oh, I can't see that very well. And this is what's happened to his weight. So his weight, starting just above 250, has been steadily coming down. And it's down to 210. His waist size has continued to come down. And his hemoglobin A1C, which is the measure of his sugars, has stayed relatively stable, below 7%. And this is him now. So if you look at what has happened to his insulin dose, so he started off with 55 units of insulin. And within, 6 weeks, he was off of all his insulin. In other words, his sugars are doing fine, and he's off of all his medications completely. And his levels of A1C are no longer at a level where you could make this case that he is diabetic. In other words, you could say that his diabetes has been cured. By using these kind of simple understanding of diabetes, you can see that this is actually the rational, but also the natural way to cure diabetes. We're not talking about piling on more drugs for you. I mean, you go to some of these places, they'll tell you to take these experimental drugs and they want you to sign you up for drug trials. No. What we're doing has been done for thousands of years and is in fact exactly the way they used to treat diabetes. But they understood that it was a dietary disease. It has to be treated with dietary measures.
Megan, and I was terrified. I thought, my God, cured of diabetes? No way. So I listened and I gave it a try, and at first it was scary, because you're not eating. I did cheat once in a while, but as time went on, I got used to it, and it was wonderful. Now, but there's a few corrections. I'm down to 200 pounds now as this morning.
Wow.
My waist size is from almost 50 inches down to 40 inches. Thanks to everybody here. And now it's a breeze. It is so easy. I feel so healthy.
And how was the actual fasting? Did you find that very difficult? Were you hungry? Were you grouchy, tired? Like, those are the main concerns. I tell people, and they're like, oh, I can't do that. That's the first reaction. I think everybody gets that reaction. I can't do that. I'm going to be tired all the time. I'm going to be hungry all the time. How did you feel?
Oh, excellent. Seriously, I have gotten so much more energy. I feel great. It's hard to put into words, but I feel very healthy. I feel fantastic. I was not tired, and a lot of people are concerned about not eating food. Are you going to be tired? Are you going to be sick and whatnot? And once I adjusted after about 4 or 5 weeks, I feel great. Like, you sleep better at night. You're happier. Jeanette can tell you about that.
I think that's the experience, and that's what's actually very interesting is that many people actually come back and they say the exact same thing. They say, I feel great when I'm fasting. And there's actually a very good reason for that. And when you're fasting, the body is actually increasing the amount of adrenaline because, so you're actually feeling more energized than when you didn't fast. And I think that's one of the things that people didn't really understand. The other thing about the hunger is that the body actually switches to burning some of the fat. And when it starts to burn some of the fat, you're actually feeding your own body through your own fat, and therefore you're not hungry all the time. As you start to eat, you'll actually start to get more hungry. So it's actually easier, I think, to fast than to follow these very low calorie diets, like 500 calories a day or something. If you follow those very low calorie diets, once you start eating, you've switched off from burning fat because you're eating. So the body is not burning fat, and then it says, okay, since I'm not burning fat and I'm not eating very much, I'm really hungry. So then you actually get very hungry. Whereas if you don't eat anything at all, it's actually much easier. It's kind of like once you start doing something, it's easy to continue. And it's the same thing. When you're not eating, it's actually very easy for your body to continue because it just keeps burning that fat and it's feeding itself through the fat. Thanks very much, Richard. And maybe I can speak to your wife as well.
The overall experience has been fantastic. I mean, it's only been a few months now, and they've given me my life back to me. I just want to say a warm thank you to everybody here, especially Megan, Dr. Fung, my wife, Ned, Dr. Ting. They've been great. Thank you.
Thanks, Richard. Thank you. All right. Thanks very much, Jeanette. So I'm gonna speak to his wife Jeanette, who actually wasn't a patient, but she came with him. Come on, have a seat here. And why don't you tell us what happened, what your story is?
Well, I came in with my husband Richard because he wanted me to be here to find out what this was all about. And again, I was kind of skeptical. But then I thought, well, I'm a little bit heavy myself. Maybe I should try this program just for weight loss. And I think I've lost about 40 pounds since June. So
that's great.
The only drawback is I now can shop in my favorite store that doesn't carry plus sizes, and I'm driving my husband crazy because they keep coming back with new clothes. But no, it's great, and I can honestly say that the fasting is not difficult. You just, and I'm because I'm on certain meds, I have to eat a breakfast every morning, but I eat less of a breakfast, and then I do the fast for the rest of the day. But it is not hard. You feel a lot better, and you're a lot happier.
And Megan also mentioned you also had improved your mobility as well. Is that?
Yeah. Today I've got a bit of an infection in my foot, so I'm stumbling a bit. But yeah, people are amazed that I can walk so fast. Will you slow down? Yeah, so it has helped, but because you're not carrying extra weight, so you are a lot more mobile.
Great.
I cannot keep up with her now. She went from wheelchair, bed to wheelchair to walker to cane. Now you can't keep up with this girl. Now that she's reduced, are you with me way back there, Richard?
Oh, and I've also been taking off one of my blood pressure pills.
Oh yeah.
And no, I am.